Okay, so when the job's complete and you want to invoice it, you can come back into the client's record here. First thing you need to do is just go to the Jobs tab, and then you need to just mark off the job as it's now done. So you choose the job that you want to work on. This one's highlighted here already because there's only one. You go to the job status section here that's currently ready. You drop that down and you change the status in there to done. Now the system knows that that's available for invoicing. All you need to do now is click on the Invoices tab here, and we can see there's no invoices on the system for this client yet. So all we do is we click Add New Invoice. It puts an invoice on, it gives us an invoice number, it puts an invoice date on, and you can see there's no value in this yet. And what we need to do is just display the jobs that are available to be invoiced. So if we look down at this section here that says Jobs, if we just click on the plus button, that opens up, and now we can see that we've got a job in here that's waiting to be invoiced. All we do is double click that, and that adds that onto the invoice. And you can see that the invoice details have appeared below, and that's just confirming all the details that were on the job are now on the invoice. And if we look back up at the summary line at the top, we can see that it's now put the net and the VAT totals and summary in the top line item as well. Now there's a few more things that we can do in here. We can come along, and if this is an invoice that hasn't been paid yet, or the client's not paid you, you will be able to enter some payment terms. So if it's 7-day payment terms that you're going to send this client, that will print on the invoice when you print this out. If it's already been paid, you can just leave the payment terms blank. If we just skip back past the printed for now, when the invoice has been paid, you can come into here and you mark that it's been paid. So if this had been paid cash today, we can click today's date. And then we move along to the next field, and we enter into here the payment method. So how much was payment method number 1? So you can see here we've got payment method 1 and payment method 2. The reason for that is you sometimes find that the client's already got a check written out for you, and then when you get there, asks you to do more. So then pays you cash for the second part of the job. So I'll show you the example here. We've got payment option 1. So I'm going to put in here that they've paid us £600 as part payment. And the part payment they've made that by is payment method 1 is the cheque. When you tab out of that field, you can also put a payment reference in. So you can put a bank's paying in slip number that you're going to pay this into the bank for. So if I put on a fictitious paying in slip number, and where that helps is on some of the reporting. When you print these out, it will help you reconcile, because you'll be able to tally up what's in the payslip with what's on the system here. The system's already set up that it knows there's a balance outstanding of 75.76, so that's put in that in the payment method 2 column already for you there. And let's mark this one down as cash. When we move out to that field again, we can put a paying in slip reference there, or a petty cash voucher number if you want to put that in there. And then the system now tells you that the balance on this invoice is 0, so it's all paid. If you want to make any invoice notes, there's a free text field you can enter notes into there, and they'll be printed on the invoice as well. Now that's it, it's done. You don't need to print this if you're not sending it to your client, but what we recommend you do is that you print this invoice and then fasten the job card to the back of this invoice and file your invoices in invoice number order. A lot of the time what we do is we sign the job card for the client and leave a copy with the client, and effectively that's their receipt. And unless they've specifically requested a proper invoice, all we do is keep the paper copy of the invoice in the office here, and we don't send that to the client. As I say, we just attach the job card to the back of the invoice. So if you do want to print this, the button here, we can click in the drop down box here. There's several different layouts of invoices. If we choose just this invoice A for now, and you would click print, it offers you the option to print or preview. If we just preview that on screen, that's pulled that up there. If we just zoom in on this one, and we can see it's got all the details on. It would put any invoice notes in here. It's put the job address details on here and the item notes on here, and it's put the proper VAT breakdown and things like that as well on. So you can choose the invoice that you want to print there. That's it. Once the invoice has been printed, it puts a tick in the little box here, and it does lock the invoice then at that point, so you can't add anything else onto it and some other little bits and bobs. If you do need to change anything, you can click the little button here that says undo printed, and that'll remove that flag and unlock the invoice for you. So that's it. You've completed the job, marked it as done, and created the invoice for it.